Hello guys and welcome to another video on DJ Vlogs, and welcome back to the 151st episode of the Now Update. Today I've got quite a lot to talk about, so let's jump in with all the latest and Now local music news and updates. So first of all, I'll go through the upcoming albums that are due to be released. So we have Now Yearbook 1978 Extra, and that's out now. That was of course released on Friday. If you would like to get yourself a copy of the album, you can do the link in the description down below. If you'd like to get yourself a copy of the album, you can of course get yourself a copy of that album from all the usual places. You've got Amazon, you've got HMV's website, and of course Now Music's online store. And you also have got supermarkets and HMV stores, but with the supermarkets you'll have to check if a local supermarket still has a CD section. So now I'll go through the upcoming albums that are due to be released. So we have Now That's What I Call 80s Alternative, and that's due to be released this Friday on the 16th of June. Then we have Now That's What I Call HMV Anthemic, and that's due to be released this Saturday on the 17th of June. And of course that is a HMV exclusive, which will only be available from HMV stores and from HMV's website from 4 PM on this Saturday. Then we have Now That's What I Call a Sizzling Summer, and that's due to be released on the 30th of June. And then we have Now Yearbook 1992, and that's due to be released on the 7th of July. So if you would like to pre-order any of these albums that are due to be released, you can do the links in the description down below. If you're going to pre-order, you can of course pre-order all these albums from Amazon, the HMV's website, and of course Now Music's online store. And when these albums are out, you'll be able to get them in supermarkets and HMV stores. And again, for supermarkets, I'll only be those supermarkets that still sell CDs, as not all of them do. So I definitely recommend you check a local supermarket to see if they have a CD section. So before I go and have a look at the Now albums in the compilation chart, I want to have a quick mention about the Now review. You may have noticed I haven't been releasing any episodes of the Now review over the last few months. There is a reason for this. I've been very busy with various other commitments, work and other things as well, and I've been thinking about ways that I can either go back and review all these albums I haven't currently gone back and reviewed yet, and a way that I can sort of change it going forward. Because I think like many of you will agree on this, that the Now reviews have been feeling they all feel very same. I tend to say the same things in them. I really want to try and change the way that I do my Now reviews, and I've been wanting to do this for a little while. So I've had to think about this and think about what I want to do to try and change the Now reviews. And what I've come up with is a sort of a monthly series. So there'll be one episode a month, probably at the end of that month. So right at the end of that month, or almost in a couple of days into the following month, which I'll sort of have a quick review at each album that's released in that month. So I don't actually have a name for this yet. I'm thinking about something like the Now Roundup, but if any of you guys of course have any suggestions, that would be massively appreciated. So this will be a video that comes out each month, probably no longer than about 10, maybe 15 minutes. So it'll be a much more shortened down the review, rather than of course me releasing these sort of 5 to 10 minute reviews on each album throughout that month. I'd sort of do it all in one. It'd be much more condensed, rather than me of course looking at the artwork, then the disc artwork, then going through mentioning all the track lists. I'd have a condensed list right down. Of course I'd be looking at all of the albums released throughout that month, so it would come out at the end of that month, or maybe in a few days into the following month, looking at all the albums released from that previous month in a much more condensed, shortened down video. I do want to know your guys' opinions on this. Of course, if you've got a good name for it as well, I really want you guys to let me know your opinions on this. Do you think this would be better than the current way I've been doing things with an Now review, releasing a video on each individual review, or a monthly series like something like this Now Roundup that I mentioned, where I'd have a look at all the albums in one video at the end of each month? But I really just want to know your guys' opinions, so please drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think about it. So now let's have a look at All That Soccer Music albums in the official top 50 compilation album chart. This is where I look at all that soccer music albums that feature in the official top 50 compilation album chart, which is updated every Friday. So number 3 we have Now Millennium 2000-2001. That's a new entry there at number 3. That's on still always go straight to number 3. As usual, these albums always tend to go up in the top 5, and I'm so glad it's gone to number 3. Let's just hope it doesn't fall down many places next week. At 7 we have Now That's What I Call Legendary. At 11 we have Now That's What I Call Music 114. That was unfortunately down 2 places this week. Last week that was at number 9. This week is unfortunately down 2 places to number 11. I really do hope it can make its way back up into the top 10 very soon. It has been dropping down most weeks, but I'd love to see that move back up over the next few weeks. At 29 we have Now That's What I Call Music 113. At 30 we have Now That's What I Call Massive 80s Party. At 34 we have Now That's What I Call Massive Hits and Number Ones. At 40 we have Now Number Ones, 70 years of the official singles chart. And at 42 we have Now Yearbook 1978. So those All That Soccer Music albums in the official top 50 compilation album chart, which is updated every Friday. So this week we have 8 Now albums in the top 50. We did of course also have 8 last week, so we do of course maintain the same amount of albums, but we have actually lost down this week as we gained a new entry. So that means one of the albums was in last week's chart has unfortunately dropped out, but we still do maintain the same amount of albums. And this week the albums don't seem to be doing very well. The statistics for the Now albums in the top 50 this week are: We have 5 albums going down, we have 2 albums going up, and we have 1 new entry. So the majority of these albums are again unfortunately moving down. We can just hope that more of these albums start moving up over the next few weeks. So that is it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please make sure to give it a massive thumbs up. It'd be much appreciated if you do. Also, to you subscribe and enable notifications to be notified every time I release a new video. And make sure to follow my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Snapchat. That'll be just aside right there. And links to all my social medias will be in the description down below. And make sure to go follow up on all of them. And guys, I'll see you soon for another YouTube video.